Hello, welcome to my weekly vlog, Debra Keirce's Art Journey. Thank you for subscribing. I'd like to share with you today my strategies for pricing my paintings that I create. Now, ultimately it's going to be up to you which of these methods or a different method that you choose, but I can tell you what I do. I basically have 3 different pricing strategies, and you'll see why in a minute. The first, the most expensive paintings that I do are the miniature paintings that are painted under a magnifying glass. And the reason for this is that it's much harder, in my opinion, to paint very small than it is to paint larger. The reason is that you are dealing with such a small space and you spend literally hours on every square inch of this painting. So it's much more labor intensive. It is less expensive to buy a miniature painting because it's just cheaper to buy the frames, cheaper to ship. Those things factor into it. But for me, per square inch, that's the highest price point is my miniatures. And the second pricing strategy I have, the least expensive, are the alla prima pieces that I do. And these are generally small-ish because I'm usually doing them as a demo or as a class or in some sort of a public forum. But also I'm doing them quickly. I'm putting only one layer of paint generally over my underpainting. I usually come in with the underpainting and then finish it up. And these they go quick. They're usually small, so they're usually priced at I've never actually figured it out, but it's much less than my larger pieces. My normal small art and larger pieces, I will actually have a price point of about $8.1 per square inch on them, and this is sort of in the middle range per square inch. Now, there's more that factors into this than square inch. Also the frame, the cost of the frame. If you decide to go out and buy something gilded or really expensive, then you need to take that into consideration. Also shipping, if it's something really large and you're going to have to ship it, you might need to include that in the cost, if not of the painting, then at least shipping to the person who bought the commission. So these are all things that factor in. But in general, there are some steadfast rules that I go by. First is you don't want to be the most expensive or the least expensive person in an art show, in an exhibition, or even if you look around at your peers, how much they're charging for commissions. You want to put yourself in a place where people value what you're doing, but also don't feel like, they're paying so much more for you when they could get it less for somebody else after they have your painting hanging on their wall. That's a terrible feeling for them to find another artist that could have done it cheaper. It's like you missed out on the sale or something. You don't want that to happen. So you need to do your research up front and make sure that you're comparably priced. I put all my pricing on my website and everywhere. Lots of artists decide to keep that in their pocket until they negotiate with people. I don't see any harm in letting everybody know when I have sales and how much things are going for. I'm very open about that, so you can always look at my website, debkart.com, and see what I'm charging. But that's what I do, is I just try and stay right in the middle of the race. And I try and not ever decrease my pricing. I might run a sale on occasion for, say, a charity or friends and families I give a discount to. But even then, you can't, in good faith, give a discount more than 10 to 20%, because if you do, you're undercutting all of your previous collectors. And as you go and as you grow as an artist, your pricing, may increase, but you never want to increase it more than 10% or so per year, because you don't want to get to a place where you're so inflated, then the economy dies and you want to lower your prices, but you really can't because you have people that bought at a higher price point and you don't want to disrespect them. So there's a lot that goes into pricing, but those are the things that go on in my head. I hope that's helpful and gave you some things to think about. We'll see you next week.